Today, we're going on a guided tour of what is, without a doubt, the most incredible machine in your body. We're talking, of course, about your heart.
So just to kick things off, try to wrap your head around this number. Every single day, your heart pumps about 2,000 gallons of blood. That is an absolutely staggering amount of work for an organ that's only about the size of your fist.
And the reason it can do all that work is because at its core, the heart is a powerful, muscular pump. It sits right at the center of everything, at the heart of your circulatory system, tirelessly pushing blood to every single corner of your body, every second of your life.
Now, when we say circulatory system, we're talking about this massive, intricate highway of blood vessels that reaches, well, everywhere. And if that system is the highway, your heart is the central station, the command center, directing all of the traffic.
So, why is this traffic so important? Well, the blood being pumped around is carrying the absolute essentials for life. We're talking oxygen and nutrients to all of your organs. And, on the return trip, it basically acts like a cleanup crew, hauling away waste products like carbon dioxide. Without this constant delivery and removal service, nothing else in your body could work.
All right, so let's officially start our tour. First up, let's figure out exactly where the heart lives and what keeps it safe.
So your heart is nestled right in the center of your chest, sitting in a special compartment between your lungs called the mediastinum. It's usually tilted a little bit to the left. And like we said, it's about the size of your fist, and it's kind of shaped like an upside-down cone. So what keeps it protected? It's wrapped in this tough two-layered sac called the pericardium. Honestly, you can just think of it as the heart's personal bodyguard. It anchors the heart in place, and it also provides a little bit of lubrication so it can beat smoothly without any friction.
Now, the wall of the heart itself isn't just one simple layer. Oh no, it's actually got three distinct layers. You've got the outer layer, the epicardium, the inner lining, the endocardium, and sandwiched right in the middle is the real star of the show, the myocardium. This is the thick, powerful muscle tissue that does all the heavy lifting. It's the part that actually does the pumping.
Okay, our tour is now taking us inside the heart, where we'll find 4 distinct rooms or chambers.
You see, the heart is split into a right side and a left side, and each of those sides has 2 chambers. So the 2 upper chambers are called the atria, and the 2 lower chambers, which are much more muscular, are called the ventricles.
A really simple way to think about it is this. The atria upstairs are the receiving rooms where blood first arrives. Then the blood moves downstairs to the ventricles, which are the powerful pumping rooms that send the blood on its way. And here's a really cool detail. The muscle wall of the left ventricle is way thicker than the right one. Why? Because the right ventricle only has to pump blood next door to the lungs, but the left ventricle, it is the massive job of pumping blood to your entire body.
So we've seen the rooms, but how does blood actually move through them? This is what we'll call the great blood journey. It's this continuous, perfectly coordinated loop.
This diagram is key to understanding everything. You see the blue and the red? That's because your heart is really a double pump, working 2 different circuits at the same time. The blue side takes in that oxygen-poor blood from the body and sends it over to the lungs. Meanwhile, the red side takes that fresh, oxygen-rich blood from the lungs and pumps it out to the rest of the body.
So let's just walk through it. Step 1. Oxygen-poor blood from your body comes into the right atrium. Step 2. It gets pumped from the right ventricle over to the lungs for a fresh tank of oxygen. Step 3. That newly oxygenated blood comes back into the left atrium. And finally, step 4. It's pumped from that super strong left ventricle out to your entire body. And then the whole thing starts all over again. But wait, what stops the blood from just flowing backward? Well, the heart has these 4 incredible one-way doors called valves. You've got the tricuspid, pulmonary, mitral, and aortic valves. And with every single heartbeat, they open and slam shut, making sure that blood is always flowing in the right direction.
Okay, so we've seen the muscle and the plumbing, but none of that works without a power source, right? We need a spark. And that brings us to the heart's amazing electrical system.
It's a pretty important question, isn't it? You don't have to sit there thinking, okay, beat, now beat again. It just happens. So what's actually giving the orders?
Well, the answer is that the heart is totally self-sufficient. It has its own built-in electrical wiring, a natural pacemaker that generates an electrical impulse all by itself. This signal then sweeps through the heart muscle in a very specific pattern, telling it exactly when and how to squeeze.
And that invisible electrical spark? It has a very famous signature, the ECG, or what you might know as an EKG. This wavy line you see here is literally a printout of that electrical journey. Each little bump and valley tells the story of one single heartbeat, showing the electrical activation that makes the muscle contract and then the recovery phase as it gets ready for the very next beat.
Okay, we've arrived at the final stop on our tour. Let's put everything we've just learned, the chambers, the blood flow, those one-way valves, and that electrical spark, all together to see one complete heartbeat, which is known as the cardiac cycle.
So every single heartbeat has two main parts. You have systole, that's the contraction phase. It's when the powerful ventricles squeeze and push blood out of the heart. And then you have diastole. That's the relaxation phase, when the ventricles chill out and fill back up with blood, getting ready for the next beat.
When you think about it, the cardiac cycle is really just a perfect symphony. You've got that electrical signal firing, the muscle contracting, the valves snapping open and shut, and the blood flowing through it all, in perfect, beautiful time.
And I want you to remember this, that perfect, incredibly complex sequence we just went through, it happens more than 100,000 times every single day, all without you ever having to think about it. It is by far the most reliable and efficient machine we know.
Which really brings us to our final thought. This unbelievable organ works automatically, non-stop, from before you were even born until your very last moment. It does its job perfectly to keep you alive. So the only question left to ask is, what can you do to help it?